Hey there, Aquarius Ascendant. This is your Ascendant Forecast for the week ahead, going from Monday, the 24th of November, right the way through to Sunday, the 30th of November, 2025. And this is a week of loads of releases, I would say, because we've got Saturn, one of your ruling planets, is going direct after having been retrograde since July the 13th. That's quite a long time. And we've also got Mercury going direct after being retrograde for 3 weeks. And so that's all fantastic. We've also got Venus, who she's a goddess of love, but she's also like a goddess of flow, ease, grace, and she's making 5 aspects, 5 really strong exact aspects in this week ahead, and then finally moving into the sign of Sagittarius. So we're really starting to come out of that Scorpio time, which was quite deep and quite really intense. And we're coming into a more lighthearted phase, which I think you're a lot more in alignment with. So this is going to be an exciting week ahead. And if this is the first time you've been here, my name's Louisa, so welcome to Feel Good Astrology. As ever, I work from slides. They keep me on track because I tend to go around the houses a little bit. And so let's bring up my slides right now. This is a Western tropical whole sign forecast, by the way. So I will be using a Western whole sign tropical model, and I'll show you that in just a second. Before I do that, though, I always do put a shout out to the people who support this channel, whether it's historically, with a one-off donation or the regular donation, and also a big thank you to everybody who's a member of my school community. It all makes a difference. It really helps me do what I love, which is to dive into planetary patterns. So thank you so much. Now, these are the two charts that I'm using today. This one is, you'll see the sun is just in Sagittarius. The moon's just in Capricorn. This is at the beginning of the week, and at the end of the week, we've got the sun still, the sun has moved forwards, but the moon has moved from Capricorn all the way through to Aries. Now, if we just go back and forth again, you'll see that we've got this sort of Scorpio energy. And at the end, Venus, we've got 3 planets in the sign of Sagittarius. Last week, we had 4 planets. At the same time, we had the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Venus all in Scorpio. And this is in your 10th house. This is a very intense powerhouse part of your chart, really aimed at your career, your legacy. You're feeling that you're getting recognized and appreciated. This is a place where you're really kind of telling the world who you are at a big level. But when these were all there, it was in the tail end of the waning phase, just before the new moon. And so this was a real sort of intense, privately felt week where you're making adjustments in how you're perceived in the big world, in terms of your job and stuff. It's a time of decision making. And so I think that set the ball rolling. But the really lovely thing about this is the sun and Mars are already in your 11th house. And as this week goes on, you'll have Venus, the sun, and Mars in your 11th house. Aquarius is the 11th sign. And one of the things that Aquarians tend to really dominate in, they dominate in creating a vision, creating a shared vision. They're very good at connecting and being like really good brothers and sisters to each other. There's this real sort of communard kind of energy, where everyone is part of their collection, their community. It's it really is about achieving together. And so it's interesting that at the moment we're coming into the 11th house with the sun, Mars, and Venus, because your global vision, or your vision of your own life and the people that you might need around you to create that, it's all coming into play. So that it feels like we're coming to a natural time that you understand. So as we start this then, we've got, actually, before we do that, I just want to also add, so this is a whole sign Western tropical model, which puts one sign in one house. This is the first house. This is the second, third, fourth. If when you look at your birth chart, you've got the sign for Aquarius and also Pisces in your first house, then it's worth also listening to the Pisces forecast, because there'll be some extra intel in there for you. Anyway, I've broken the week down on a planet by planet, all the important planetary things that are going on from my perspective. And the 24th, 25th, 26th, that's Monday through Wednesday, it's a time of realization. It's a time of recognition. And there are things to mull over. But from Thursday's not mentioned because there's nothing that important apart from, if you're American, it's Thanksgiving, and if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. But from Friday the 28th through to Sunday the 30th, this is the time when it's time to get cracking, to get moving. And the reason being, we've got the first quarter moon, which is the sun exactly in a square with Mars. And when that happens, it's time to come out of the new moon phase where, we're warming up our engines. It's like the warm up at the beginning of a yoga session, or if you're going down the gym, you're stretching everything, maybe like really preparing your whole body and your life for the experience to come. From this first quarter, it's time to actually move. It's time to actually lift those weights or take the handbrake off and to actually move forwards, lurch forwards with speed. And so from Friday to Sunday, it's all go. So yeah, let's have a look at its first part. So Mars in a T-square to the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. This is happening across the 2nd and the 8th house. Right now, you're being encouraged to work on your funds, work on how you earn money, work on also how you feel deserving of money. So that's a really, really big, important thing for you. And then in the 8th house, in the South Node, it's suggesting you've already worked out how to share your funds with the people that you love, and vice versa. You've learned how to be looked after by people a bit better. But anywhere where you haven't processed that it's okay to be looked after, I know that I'm supported when I'm in a group, anywhere where that hasn't quite taken effect, it's really difficult to move forwards, because I really feel that at the moment, that life has got your back. And right now you're coming into a time when you might want to add in your own contributions in a more dynamic way. So this is really saying, you have something to give to your collective. You have something to add in. And it's, you have the confidence to do that. And so Mars is really wanting to have, I would say, have some kind of gift that he wants to share, but it just feels a little bit difficult. You're in between these two spaces. And so I wonder what you can do to integrate those spaces. That's just holding you back ever so slightly. Maybe it's just that you have an offer. When you're networking, you have your own little niche. That we say niche in Europe. I think you say niche, don't you, in America? But you have your own little niche of experience, that thing that you can add that nobody else can add. And so I think that's what you're probably looking for. And when you find that, you'll feel a lot happier. But anyway, Tuesday and Wednesday, there's another sort of thing happening. Mercury retrograde and Venus come together in your 10th house, and it appears that something you didn't know about yourself and your skills becomes really apparent. And it might be that somebody is there to help tease it out of you, but there is this feeling of, oh, there's a new beginning for me. And then, on the 26th, Venus makes an exact trine to Jupiter, an exact trine to Saturn, throughout the 2nd, the 6th, and the 10th house. This is really helpful, by the way, because it's really, I think, helping you apply what new thing you're learning about yourself. You can get productive about it, and that it's going to bring in more money. It's going to bring in more relief. It's going to bring in a bit more recognition. So it feels really good. Whatever you're doing and realizing about yourself is very, very helpful. And then from Friday, after the first quarter, it's time to get moving. And so what happens is Saturn is suddenly going forwards again. Now, this is great because, he's going to be moving out of Pisces altogether from February of next year. But essentially, what was started for you back in March 2023, when he first came into the sign of Pisces, was he was giving you this real big financial turnaround. He was really showing you that with persistence and determination, you could really turn something around about your earnings and your value. And it's been quite the journey, because Saturn journeys are never that easy. But it feels like something has taken shape. It feels good. Things are moving. And then Mercury going direct in your 10th house the day after on Saturday, that's another indication that what you've learned is now applied in your career. And you're moving forwards. And then the last day, Sunday the 30th, which I think is the most powerful day, Venus goes into an exact opposition with Uranus across the 10th and the 4th house. So it feels like, yes, you've got this new dynamic direction. You might get a little bit of feedback from your family. You might get a bit of pushback. It might not always fit in with your family. And so there might be some adjustments that you need to make as you balance this out, because of course our whole life is a balancing act. When we go completely into one part of our life, the other bits are up in the air, so there is some kind of adjustment to be made. However, Venus is also in a beautiful trine with Neptune, and it feels like this a lot of natural generosity comes forwards, which I think is actually really easing you into something even better. And straight after that, Venus comes into the 11th house. This is a place where the right people fall into your lap, the right people who you might need to meet, who might share your vision, who might want to collaborate with you. It all starts to move forwards. And so I just love this. I think this is a very exciting time for you. And so if this has been helpful, if you like how I've just dived right into the ascendant forecast for your sign, imagine how much more powerful that could be if we were working together in membership or working actually on your chart together. And so there's a few different ways that you can be working with me. I've got a school forecast group where I give Monday to Friday forecasts and also weekly love and relationship forecasts. So that's just it's a bit like Patreon. It's called School. And so that can be quite helpful. I do say to the community there, if you want me to add in anything to the forecast, I will. So you do get a little bit of say. It's a place where we can chat a little bit. I've got my sort of VIP full membership, which is also a learning membership where we're learning with our charts together on a regular basis. We've got a classroom. And there's lots of different activities that we go through together. So it's a place to learn about your chart, and there's going to be more coming very soon. And also for 2026, I'm opening up 10 spots for a private astrology mentorship where on a monthly basis, you and I would work together, and your chart is the textbook. Your chart is the thing that we're diving into from different perspectives. I've got 3 different journeys mapped out. You can choose the one or choose from different bits that work for you so that you get the experience and development that you want. But we're looking into your rhythms, looking into understanding the code of your chart and maybe how it works with the people in your life as well. And so it's a very sort of healing and organic process that will take you deeper and deeper into yourself and your understanding. So if any of those are like, oh my God, that's exactly what I need, then just get in touch. All of my details are below in the channel notes and also on my channel page. The video notes and also my channel page. So have a wonderful week ahead. There's some amazing discoveries coming up in this week ahead, and I just think it's a really good time for you. So loads of love, and hopefully catch you in another forecast real soon. Bye for now.